First thing I'll say is I think, I want to always say we have to be careful of what we define our expectations as, and we don't let someone else define them, because they may not know all of the things that are going on internally. And I think anytime you have unrealistic expectations, the result can be frustration. So, we've got to be very careful in year two. I was reminded in spring of how thin we really are when we had those injuries in spring, and how fortunate we were last year to play with the same 5 offensive linemen and same receivers, and that doesn't happen often. So we are raising the expectations, but I do think that it's still a little early for us to talk about some things like we're not SEC depth right now at every position. So how we're doing it is really it's the same thing I've done my whole career, as far as instilling in a team certain core values and certain accountability that hopefully relates into us trusting and loving one another enough that we play to our maximum ability. And now obviously it takes players. You've got to have great players in this league if you're going to compete. And we have taken strides and made progress in that through recruiting. But again, they're still just young kids. But really, I think it has to do with the chemistry that our staff radiates when people are on our campus. And, we sell a vision to them of doing something new and fresh at a place that if people come to this place, I've never really met anyone that didn't want to come back. And so it's really not as hard a sell as people make it out to be. I guess it's because we did it so fast. And but when I was there before as an assistant, we brought in 3 top 20 classes. So I don't, the place is a phenomenal place to experience life in college, life especially. And you add to that a great vision from an energetic and cohesive staff, and particularly players that sell your vision. And we've worked very hard at getting our players to buy into the vision and being able to communicate it to others. And I think you see the fruits of that. That's kind of why the buzz is around us right now.
Coach, can you talk about the snowball effect of recruiting last year?
Yeah.
How it just went crazy?
Yeah.
Could you have even expected to have that kind of success?
When our coaches would come back and tell me, "Hey, Coach, we're going to get this kid, or we're going to get or we're even in this kid," I have to admit my first thought internally was probably, these young coaches, man, they've lost their mind, But as it went on, and certainly it started with winning the Egg Bowl and then winning the bowl game, and knowing, from my conversations with Miss Beverly about Robert and with Robert, that if momentum occurred in our program and Denzel was having success, both of those things occurred, there was a good chance we were going to land, obviously, the #1 player in the nation. And with that comes a lot of notoriety. Where we were very fortunate, I've said that all along, to have some LinkedIn built-in ties that were very beneficial to us. But once that started happening and it became public knowledge, or even behind-the-scenes knowledge that, hey, this kid's going to go to Ole Miss, it certainly even helped us even more. And then, with Laquan coming early and committing to us, and our coaches did a phenomenal job, and our players did too. But, could I anticipate it snowballing like it did? No, in all honesty, but certainly was a good ride.